if you look at our teeth, you see big difference between animals that eat fruits and animals that eat meat. If you look at the tongue, at the saliva, at our stomach, you can look at many organs and then make a comparison. What is man more closely related to meat eaters or to plant eaters? And the answer is we are much more closely related to plant eaters. So I think this is one of the orientations that we can use to decide what is the proper food for us. Because if you read textbooks or talk to many experts from different fields, they will always say man is an omnivore. That means he eats plants and animal products. And in fact, man is able to digest both and live off both. But I think these indications that we are made more as plant eaters is a good orientation.
Video today on why I am a vegan. No doubt this will probably annoy a lot of people, but yeah, it's what I believe. I've been a vegetarian for about 25 years. The reason I became a vegetarian, I was about 19. I actually didn't know any other vegetarians or anything. It wasn't part of a group thing. It was a decision made on research. I mean, basically, to start with, obviously, I'm an animal lover. I don't want to kill anything or anyone. I don't want to cause harm. I don't like blood. I don't like gore. I don't even watch horror movies. I just don't like it. Don't like the energy. I just don't like it. When I did eat meat when I was growing up, when I was fed it by my family, if I ever had red meat, it was like, well done. If there was any blood there, it was nah. So why did I go vegetarian? Basically, the main two factors that did it for me is, one is I knew I couldn't go out and kill an animal, slaughter it, etc. And so that meant I should not be eating animals. That simple. I'm not the kind of person that's going to sit back and pay someone else to do my moral dirty work, basically. The second reason is humans are biologically vegetarians. And that will probably annoy a lot of people, but it's the truth. We are not equipped to hunt an animal down and to kill it. We're just not equipped to do that. We don't have claws, we don't have the speed, we don't have snouts, and we don't have a mouthful of canines. Now, a lot of you out there will go, oh, but we've got canines. No, we don't. Those slightly pointy teeth at the side of your mouth are not canines. They're completely different, and even if they were, what use is one or two canines? No use at all. Ridiculous fallacy. Basically, the length of our intestines and our large and small intestines are that of a vegetarian. Our teeth, we have teeth at the front to bite into and to get through fibrous material. They're slightly sharp, and then we have molars at the back to crush it all up. It's not what meat eaters have. Meat eaters have very sharp ripping teeth and snouts, and they don't chew much. They swallow the meat whole, and they have short intestines because meat is poisonous even to them, and they have a short intestine so they can get it out of their body quickly. We have a long intestines, and that's because it takes longer to digest plant matter, takes longer to get the nutrients out of it, and so it has to stay in your guts longer. And it's not toxic, it's not going to kill you, so there's no urgency to get it out of your body. So we're vegetarians, okay? And the kicker is, if you think that you're a meat eater, go and eat some raw meat. I mean, seriously, what came first? The human with, what, a knife for one hand and a lighter for the other so he could kill and cook his meat? I mean, seriously, it's ridiculous. It doesn't even make sense. If humans were carnivores, or as most people run around saying, omnivores. By the way, omnivores don't eat large animals and vegetables. They eat bugs and stuff and vegetables. It's different. So yeah, go eat some uncooked meat. We can't do it. If we were raised to eat meat, we would be able to, if we're here biologically to eat meat, we will be able to eat it raw, we will be able to hunt it, we'll be able to, with what God gave us, without weapons and guns and stuff. I mean, we wouldn't need fire to cook it. So yeah, if you think you're a meat eater, biologically, then seriously go and eat some raw meat. Come back and tell me how you went. So that's the main reason I'm a vegan. I went vegetarian 25 or so years ago. I've only gone vegan about 6 months ago. Basically because my son started looking into it. He went vegetarian. My partner's a meat eater, so my boys weren't raised as vegetarians, but they have now both gone vegetarian on their own accords with their own research. And my eldest son started talking about veganism and showed me what was going on in the dairy industry, the meat, the honey industry, all these different things, eggs, the chicken industry. I mean, I've never really eaten a lot of eggs. I've never really drinking milk. The only really thing that I did like was cheese. I like my pizza. But yeah, when I sort of saw what was going on in those industries, it wasn't hard. I just gave it up then and there, because I'm not here to collect bad karma and to treat animals with less dignity than I expect to be treated myself. And that's the other thing about veganism is I just don't want to leave the footprint of death behind me. I don't want to leave a legacy of I came here and took all the resources I could without giving a crap about the consequences and about who it hurt. And so I'm definitely not giving my money to these industries. And like I said before, I'm not into paying someone to do the dirty work that I won't do myself. Now, I know there's people out there who hunt and fish, and I think that if you're going to eat meat, that's what you should do. You should be getting your own meat. You shouldn't be, one of these macho male white Western males who goes on about, I'm a man, I need to eat meat, and then goes to the supermarket to go hunting in the meat department to get his nicely fresh cut up meat in bloody packaging. It's pathetic. So this is a moral thing. I mean, this is all about who we are, who we want to be, what kind of a legacy do we want to leave. And apart from that, the meat industry is killing the planet. It's responsible for well over 50% of the pollution that we're getting, and deforestation. They're cutting down forests everywhere to graze animals. Everyone's heard about the methane debate. The cow farts are bloody taking over the world. And on top of that, it just causes so much pain and suffering, and it's completely unnecessary. I mean, if you needed to eat meat, I'd be dead, because I haven't eaten it in 25 years. And go to India. Most Indians are vegetarians. They never eat meat, and they're fine. I mean, in fact, it's one of the most populous countries on the planet. So eating meat causes disease. It just does. It causes dis-ease to your body because it's not supposed to be in there. It's a toxin. So if you keep shoving toxins in your body, it's like anything. If you keep shoving fizzy drinks in your body, or pharmaceutical drugs, or highly processed foods, you've got to expect problems. It's just going to happen. 2, it's unethical. It's bad karma. Don't want it. 3, if you're not prepared to do it yourself, don't do it. Don't do it. That's not ethical. If you're not prepared to go out there and kill an animal, then don't eat them. And 3, if you're into the environment and you want less pollution and you want more forests, stop eating it. It's causing deforestation. You can grow something like, I'm not sure off the top of my head what the figures are, but it's at least 10 times as much food, like grains, vegetables, fruits, on an acre of land as you can meat. It's ridiculous. And then just to feed the meat, they're growing all this food, grains and stuff, to feed the animals. Then they can kill them to feed the humans. When they could just grow the food for the humans and cut out all that middleman and all that waste and all that pain and all that torture. So yeah, if you've never looked into it, I would say look into it. Obviously there's lots of videos out there that show what goes on, and it's not nice. But if you don't know, it's like anything. If you close your eyes and say, well, I'm not prepared to look into it, well, you've got to expect, if you get disease, what are you going to say? You were given the chance to look into it. I mean, if the world becomes too toxic because of this, what are you going to say? If you meet your maker and he says, you weren't a carnivore, what were you doing killing all those animals? You're a murderer. What are you going to say? So yeah, a bit of a long one there, but that's it's time for a change on this planet. Meat eating it's killing this planet. And the other thing is, my personal belief is that meat eating was introduced to make people more violent towards each other. That doesn't mean that I think that the blood makes you more violent or whatever, but it means just the act of going out there and killing things and normalizing death and blood and gore. It's not human. And that's affected our psyche as a planet, as a people. So have a think about it, have a look into it, guys. Hope you like what I have to say. Leave your comments. No doubt I'll get lots of interesting ones. But yeah, let me know if you're a vegan, why you're a vegan, and if you think you're a meat eater, if you think you're a natural carnivore, let me know why you think that as well. Alright guys, thanks for listening. Have an awesome day. Bye.
Imagine that you're a guest at a dinner party and your host serves you a dish that looks like this. Consider whether you'd find this delicious or disgusting. For those who would find it delicious, imagine you find it so delicious that you ask your host for the recipe. And she replies that the secret is in the meat. You use 3 pounds of well-seasoned golden retriever. Now take a moment to reflect on your thoughts and feelings. Chances are what you had just thought of as food, you now think of as a dead animal. What you just felt was delicious, you now feel is disgusting. Chances are your experience of the meat dramatically changed, even though nothing about the meat itself actually changed.